Welcome, Virgo, to your mid-month reading for April. Hope you friends are doing great out there. If you friends like this, hit that big old like button and subscribe. Okay, guys, let's see what's going on with you. Best message coming out, please. Best message. Heartache and loss. Ooh. For feeling that heartache and loss of that Three of Swords. Ouch. I have the Choose Wisely card coming out. So it does feel like whatever's going on over here, it's time to choose wisely. It's time to pick a way of going. It's time to go somewhere else. It's time to do something different, because no matter where it is for you with this situation, it's just bringing on the heartache. So let's see what's going on over here. Spirit says, yeah, you have different ways of going things. It's time to pick a different path when it comes to this situation. Yeah, because there's going to be a lot of emotional withdrawal and foundations and achievements in reverse, which would be just like the Four of Wands in reverse, which is saying broken communication, broken homestead, house upside down, right? The homestead upside down, the family in not doing good here. The light is also in reverse over here, so that would be the Sun in reverse as well, and needing the choices, movements, and decisions, which is the same pretty much as choosing wisely. So it's saying with the Sun in reverse as well, that, you know what, there's like, the days are dark, right? Where you were looking for the blessings, you were looking for the happiness, there is no happiness because of the heartache and the loss right now that you are feeling about this situation. Okay, so there is some kind of emotional withdrawal when it comes to the homestead. Feeling like you were at the milestone at one time, but everything just seems to have taken a step back for this time period. Okay, so we do have the diligence and the passion and the hard work. It does feel like you were putting in a lot of work and there was a lot of high standards that you were looking at, but it just was not working out. It just feels like no matter what happened, it went back to the past. It went back to where you didn't want it to go. Having a pause and letting it go. Things are happening. You're going to have this deep insight that's coming through that's going to make this change and want to release this past, this idea, this whatever is you're doing over here. There is a lot of betrayal. There is a lot of theft. There's a lot of dishonesty. There could even be dishonesty in the way that things were going. It just feels like in some ways you thought that some things were going to, there it is, again, another one of those home cards, right? 10 of Cups upside down. So now you have the Four of Wands, 10 of Cups, and the light. So it's definitely hurting the household. It's definitely hurting the family. It's definitely saying that there is some kind of disconnect with shattered dreams. Feeling like this relationship is struggling a lot. A lot of misaligned values, within the choices and decisions needs to be dealt with differently, because the Empress is saying that there is abundance and, that is on its way, but you have to look at it a different way. There's something going on that caused some kind of corruption. Somebody may have been working too hard. Maybe you thought you were working into an area of your life where you were going to make more money. You thought that something was changing and you're finding that it did not happen. If anything, it caused this kind of obsession with wealth. You could be dealing with a Taurus or a Libra, a Pisces. Okay, and Pisces. Well, that's pretty much it, or a Gemini. And it's pretty much saying, look, this is where it is going at this time. Where's it going? It's going into this place where as soon as we thought things were going to come back together, it went right back to the past. So whatever is happening is almost like I'm working past the past to end up back into the past. So whatever you were trying to detach from, it just feels like it just did not happen. Everything became disorganized. Everything became conflicted. Everything that you've been working for just seems to have kind of run itself to a point. And then after that point, from like point A to point C, it ended up right back to the point again. It almost feels like you could have 3 points. You had point A, B, and C. You made it to point A to B. On your way to C, it said, I'm not going to see C, so see you later, I'm going back to A. I hope that makes sense to you, because that's exactly what happened. C was supposed to be the comfort zone. C was supposed to be the place where you were feeling like everything was working out for the best. Everything was working out the way you wanted it to be. It didn't. If anything, it went right back around for some reason, because it's saying you need to make a different choice. You're making karmic trenches. The karmic trench that you're making is not allowing yourself to surrender. Spirit says with the Hangman, you need to surrender, pause, let go of that, because no matter what you're doing, you're always doing the same thing. All you're doing is you're trying to do the same thing and look for a different outcome. Even if you changed it the smallest way possible, let's say that you said, no, because I did this, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Okay? That didn't matter at all. Okay? I mean, literally the only way that I could think of this in that kind of way is your car takes water or antifreeze. Everybody knows that the antifreeze or whatever the heck, right, is better for the car. Anti-coolant. Not antifreeze, but coolant. So you put the coolant in the car. Everybody knows that coolant is better than water. It's made that way on purpose. So somebody could say, well, yeah, but I didn't use the garden hose water anymore. I used bottled water in it. Water's water. And I know what you're saying, because maybe you're saying because the garden hose water was hard water. It had has a lot of calcium in it, right? It was hard water versus the water from the water bottle that's soft water. Okay. Look, the only way out of this situation is to use the coolant. That's where the big change is. Using the water is not going to help. Doesn't matter if it was hard water or soft water. Water bottle, didn't matter if it was from the spring down the road, didn't matter if it was from the ocean, right? It didn't matter. It was water. You need to use coolant. That's the only thing that's going to change the whole thing. Everybody has to understand this, because that's exactly what you're doing. You're like saying, okay, but I didn't use that. I used this instead. It's the same. It's not going to change anything. That's not going to help. You know, it's like the doctor telling you can't eat, you shouldn't eat fatty things. And you're like, okay, I gave up the pork roast, but I'm going to still eat the bacon. Look, man, pork is pork and it's fatty, and it doesn't matter how you're eating it. It doesn't matter if it was the ham. It doesn't matter if it was the bacon. Didn't matter if it was the pork roast. Didn't matter if it was the damn bologna and hot dogs. You see what I'm saying? So just trying each didn't matter. You were still going to have high cholesterol. You need to cut the shit out, right? So that way it could change, right? That way you didn't have any more limits. So funny. But we do these things as humans. It's just the human nature. But the problem is we're still causing karmic trenches. So what you really need to do is allow it to end so that it can resurface. Find a new way. And when you look for the new way, look into your cup. Because the Queen of Cups is very intuitive, and she's going to look deep down within the cup and say, okay, let's make some real possibilities. Let's make some real changes. Because this is not it. I was thinking these were real changes. These are not real changes. Right? Those are not doing anything. They're not going to cause a real transformation. I need to find something that's really going to transform something to help my struggling relationship. Maybe we need counseling. If it's with, wherever this is. Right? Maybe I need to stop. If it's corruption of money, maybe we just need to stop going out to eat and go to the grocery store, buy food, eat there. It's cheaper. Make food at home. You see what I'm saying? There's something going on. Something's different, right? But it's still the same. There was no real difference. Okay. Yeah, it's just self-sabotage is all it is. And it's just really going against the grain. And it is. It's kind of like your own hypocrisy in its own way. I have to agree. I mean, it's like, like I said, it's like definitely you're doing a dance around something that needs to change, but you're only allowing it to change so much for the benefit of whatever it is you're trying to benefit from, because there's a stubborn aspect to the situation. If it's not you, it's someone you're with and it's hurting the situation. Or maybe it's the both of you who are doing it because you're not allowing the real change to come. You're not allowing that. Maybe you're making the bad investment, even though it's almost like, well, we keep making a bad investment even though we think we're making a good investment. Okay. So whatever is going on over here, it's almost like you need more planning, more foresight. You need something to go on that's different, that changes this, because it only worked for a few minutes. And that's what it feels like. It worked for a few minutes and then it bit you in the butt again, right? Because it came back around. By the time it comes back around, you're going to realize, shit, we didn't really do anything. Then there's going to be a lot of resentment, and there could even be resentment against each other for saying, but I thought we did it this way. I thought, right, you did this and did that. So however it is, that's exactly what the situation is. And it's not good right now, because it just ends up the same thing over and over again, my friends. Okay. So getting an overall card for the reading. Yes. Watch that. Watch that. You have to figure out something. You have to make a real ending to a new beginning so that you can have a real transformation to the situation. I understand that for some of you, whatever the situation is, could be scary. I understand that, and I see it here. I do. With the Devil to the Death card, I see that some of these situations that you're trying to get out of, for some of you, they're very detrimental. They're very scary situations. And so that you were trying to walk around them. But the problem about walking around them, my friends, is you didn't really change the block. You made a cul-de-sac. Just goes up and around and back around. Okay, so you have the Ace of Wands with the Herald of Swords with, the Herald of Swords with the Judgment card. So whatever is going to happen, it's just going to continue to keep, the Judgment is just going to keep coming back. The Judgment in this area is telling you to answer the inner calling within yourself. See the bigger picture within the situation. So that way you can have the Ace of Wands. Find something that you're passionate about. See how you're going to be passionate about the situation. If you're only going to look at it from a negative point of view, then it's only going to change so much because of the fear. The fear factor is what was going to keep you attached to the situation, never restoring real control to the situation. So the Judgment over here is saying it's okay, but you need to sit down and, work this out and try to figure out the real situation to this, to this situation. What is the real situation to the situation? Come on, guys. You know what I'm saying, right? Because you know exactly what just is going to happen. You can't sit there and say, well, why the fuck did it do that again? Well, it was because you just built a circle. Because you didn't really do anything. Right? And that's shitty, and we all do it. Man, it reminds me of something I did not too long ago. God. Yeah, because the Chariot says it's just going to keep moving where it's going to see it, and you're not going to see it. And you're not going to see the overall results because it's just going to blind you to it. Why? Because you're blinding yourself, because you're keeping blinders on yourself. Don't keep blinders on yourself, my friends. Right? Because there's an inner strength that's calling towards you. And it's saying, by doing this, you're keeping blinders, but those are your blinders to say, oh, it's okay because it won't do that again. But then it does. And then it feels like you have missed chances and missed opportunities. But then Spirit says, no, just go ahead and keep, planning and doing your foresight, right? So you can get back to the Four of Wands, get back to the milestone, get back to where the celebration is, get back to where you want to build what you're building. Okay? Because right now it just feels, with the Four of Wands in reverse, all you could think of is the walls come tumbling down. Right, but you want the Ace of Cups. And it says, keep going strong. Make sure that whatever you're doing, you're being very honest with yourself and communicating. So with yourself very honestly to be able to get to the Ace of Wands. Because if you're not communicating with yourself about the situation honestly, then it's just going to be, look, now you're just holding a dishonest situation with yourself. But I'm telling you, it's because of fear, right? Or it's because I don't want to go too unconventional about the situation. I don't want to go against the grain too much. Yet, I'm going to hop in here with kind of a blind faith. But yet, I'm going to kind of win at all costs. But I don't want to have too much competition. Self-sabotage. 100. And that's, yeah, like, yeah, because you're going to have you're going to have to do something different. You have to move in a different direction. It has to move the other way. Otherwise, it's not going to work. You're just going to have the obstacles and the loss because you're holding too tight to something that you know this is not going to 100% work. But if I just take out this one little thing, it's going to be okay, and then it's going to work. That doesn't do anything. Right? That doesn't do nothing. Right? That's just like, and it is. I want to actually say that too. This is because you're keeping yourself in some kind of self-protection from not having to move too far over the situation. And like I said, if it's not you, then it's the person you're dealing with, and you need to figure out how you guys are going to work together, because no matter what, it's on both of you, right? Because they're together. Then you're going to have a head over heart conversation with them to make sure that they understand this is going in a cul-de-sac. This is just the snake eating its tail, and it's not ever stopping. You need to try to make that snake into an 8 instead of a circle. That way, at least you're getting somewhere else. See, now you have a rhythm and a flow of the infinity sign. You know, the infinity sign is really what you want. You don't want the snake just eating its tail. That's just karmic trenches. Okay? You guys got this. I know you do. Just watch that. And it's kind of, it's going to be kind of crappy, right? It is. It's a little crappy. But you got it. Till next time. Peace and love.